Here's another problem where it could look a little overwhelming because there's absolute value bars here and all the stuff on the inside. But when we're first learning these types of things, I would the first step is to isolate the absolute value bars. So in my brain, what I'm really picturing is like -8 times that thing I've got to isolate equals -32. And whatever steps I might take to get this A by itself are the same steps I'm going to take to get these absolute value bars by themselves, which is pretty straightforward here, right? I mean, it's being multiplied by -8. We'll divide both sides by -8. We're going to resist the temptation to use distributive property because that is absolutely not the correct thing to do here. It could really mess you up on some problems. So let's go ahead and think of it this way. And that would mean I would divide both sides by -8. This would cancel. These absolute value bars are still here. Still not too worried about what's inside of them, and they're going to equal positive 4. Now, what happens is I know that I've got the absolute value of something equals positive 4. So that means whatever's inside of here, it either equals 4 or it equals -4. So we're always taking the inside and setting it equal to the number that we got if it's positive, and then we're setting it equal to the opposite of that number. If you ever do come across a problem where this number is negative, then we just go ahead and say no solution because the absolute value is never negative. But usually they're going to make it a positive number, and then you're going to set it equal to that number and then the opposite of that number and solve both equations. And from here, I know you guys know what to do. For this one, I'm going to go ahead and add 4 to both sides. I don't even care if you show me that step. That means 3x equals 8, and then we'll just go ahead and divide both sides by 3. And since it does not go unevenly, please just give me that fractional answer of 8 over 3. If that fraction were reducible, you should reduce it. This one's not. And on this equation, if I add 4 and add 4, oh my goodness, everything cancels over here, so I'll put a 0. So 3x equals 0. And this type of problem, it confuses a lot of people. I've seen it happen for, 20 years of teaching. But we're just going to go ahead and divide both sides by 3, or think to ourselves, 3 times what is 0, or just know that the answer is 0. Or you can do that too, but the other answer is going to be 0. And those will be our two answers to this problem. If there's questions, or if you think you're doing it right but your answers aren't coming out properly, make sure you're giving your answers in the form Alex wants. They want the two answers separated by a comma. And if you still can't figure out what's going on, please shoot me an email and I'm sure we can work it out.